25 years after their introduction in the very first chapter of the series, we finally got some clues about devil fruits. In Egghead, Vegapunk gave us a level of understanding about devil fruits that we never had before. According to him, devil fruits embody someone's wish for evolution. Sounds logical, but this is an incomplete picture. A more interesting question is, how did the wish get there? How and why do devil fruits embody someone's wish? I believe it's souls. Devil fruits rely on souls. Souls capture people's desires, and this is what's living within the devil fruits. Let's go to 400 years ago on the island of Jaya. In chapter 290, the light of Shandora was the bell that allowed souls to find their way back home. We also learned that Shandians believe that the souls of their ancestors dwell in these trees. Clearly, not all souls can go into trees. Some go elsewhere. I believe some became fruit. Fast forward to a more recent chapter 1072 in the Egghead arc, we even learned that souls probably exist with a weight of 21 grams. The idea of devil fruits having souls is further substantiated by the fact that inanimate objects can eat a zoan fruit. When have we also seen inanimate objects become living beings? Big Mom's homies. They were created by Big Mom using the soul fruit to transplant either her souls or other people's souls into all sorts of objects. Inanimate objects, either transplanted with devil fruits or with souls, become alive. This might apply beyond Zoans too. When Sabo inherited the Mera Mera no Mi, Sabo mentioned that he could hear Ace. Perhaps his soul exists in the Mera Mera no Mi. We've actually seen souls depicted in One Piece. For example, in chapter 443, we see Brook's soul finding his way to his body. In his soul, we see that familiar spiral pattern. You put multiple spiral patterns together, and what do you get? The devil fruits. Why is it important that devil fruits are made of souls? Kiluluk, Roger, Toki, and Blackbeard had strange things to say about dying. I believe something is fundamentally wrong with the world of One Piece. We've seen metaphorical hells in One Piece. Hell was Wano during Orochi's reign. Hell was Sanji in Kamabaka Queendom. Hell are the literal levels of Impel Down. Zoro wants to be the king of Hell. With Saturn's appearance in chapter 1094, I believe this confirms that hell is a real thing. Oda might have planted a hint about it in the chapter when one of the Marines saw the river Styx. The river Styx is the main underworld river that the ferryman Chiron would take the souls of the dead across into Hades. We even saw hell referenced when Brook was summoned in chapter 524. I believe another metaphorical hell is the Phantom Room in Mary Joey's. The Phantom Room, or the Lost Chamber, was first mentioned in chapter 1084. We know little about it, other than the fact that the guards who see it seem to disappear. It's clearly an important place with connections to Imu and perhaps even the Void Century. But why? In chapter 536, as we venture into the depths of Impel Down, we learn about prisoners who mysteriously go missing, the Demon's Invitation. This is clearly an inversion of whatever's happening with the Phantom Room. Impel Down, which is at the bottom of the sea, is an inversion of Mary Joey's at the top of the red line. Guards disappearing are an inversion of prisoners disappearing. The benevolent Ivankov with an unforgettable face is probably an inversion of heartless, faceless Imu-sama. Taking this to the next logical conclusion, if New Kama Land is where prisoners find freedom and become new humans, could the Phantom Room be where guards are imprisoned and lose their individuality and somehow become less than human? Probably you have seen a theory about Imu being Okama, because the character in Japanese used for Imu is similar to the characters used for Okama. Knowing Oda, this is not unintentional. In Japanese, the Phantom Room is known as Maboroshi no Heya. The name caught my attention. Maboroshi feels like a really unique character, so I decided to see where else it might be mentioned in the story, and what I found was interesting. This character can be read as either Maboroshi or Gen. It's a noun that can mean illusion, vision, dream, apparition, or phantom. If you've watched Naruto, you'll recognize Gen from Genjutsu, illusionary techniques. Here are a few things that use this character. Zhao, the Phantom Island. Rebecca, the princess who never was. Chapter 299, Fantasia or Fantasy Song, Nami's Technique, Mirage Tempo, Fata Morgana, Illusion Fairy. The most interesting use of Maboroshi is actually not in One Piece, but in the Romance Dawn prototypes. The two Romance Dawn prototypes are where we see glimpses of Luffy, Garp, and even Shanks. While these are not canon, clearly, parts of the story have made the leap into One Piece. In both, the Gomu Gomu no Mi was said to come from the Illusion Tree, and it has been called a dream fruit. Coincidence? I think not. The Phantom Room is linked to the Devil Fruits. The Phantom Room is where Imu creates Devil Fruits. To do so, Imu uses the souls of guards along with slaves. The guards disappeared because they witnessed a truly terrifying taboo act. If Nukama Land is where you find the real me, then the Phantom Room is where you lose yourself into a Devil Fruit. No me. In Nukama Land, you find that which you desire, whereas in the Phantom Room, you become desire itself. Mythical Zoans like Marcos, Kaidos, Orochi, and Yamatos are called Genjutsu, and it's written with the same character that I mentioned a few seconds ago. In the Phantom Room, I believe Imu creates mythical Zoan fruits. Fruits like the ones Sengoku possesses and probably the ones Kong and God's Knight are armed with. In One Piece, we have already seen similar rooms. The Officer's Tower where Treble and Sugar turn Gladiator into toys, and the Biscuits Room where Monet and Caesar turn kids into knights. It won't be surprising if there is a room for creating devil fruits as well. But why does Imu create devil fruits? Or why is Luffy's Nika fruit called a dream fruit? Devil fruit powers and souls can both be neutralized by a stronger soul, aka a soul with a strong will. In Whole Cake Island, we learned a lot about souls from the homies and how they react to other souls. The homies become fearful and obedient, and basically overwhelmed when in the presence of a stronger soul. This is shown several times. When Nami takes out Big Mom's Viver card, which emanates Big Mom's soul energy, the other homies stop attacking Nami. This behavior is only reversed when Big Mom appears, whose soul is much stronger than the soul fragment in the Viver card, and the homies switch their allegiance to the bigger, stronger soul. The homies are also overwhelmed by Brook's soul. Brook's soul is, due to the Yomi Yomi no Mi's soul-enhancing ability, very powerful, enough to stay on Earth after Brook's death to give him another chance at life. This powerful soul is what makes homies so scared of Brook. It was stated in the Viver card databook that Brook's fruit gives the user certain advantages over the user of the Soru Soru no Mi. Brook is capable of using the raw energy and presence of his own powerful soul to overwhelm the homies due to them being created from small pieces of souls that do not belong to them. The effects of this are visually similar to Haoshoku Haki. It renders the homies unconscious and immobile. This advantage decreased against homies made from Big Mom's own soul, as Brook cannot overwhelm them, but he is capable of injuring them as well. If you notice the latter part of the quote, Brook's soul is not strong enough to overwhelm homies made from Big Mom's soul. Both of these examples show that there is a hierarchy of soul power in One Piece. One soul can overwhelm another and make it unable to act independently. What makes a soul strong? Its will. Big Mom cannot take the souls of people who are not afraid to die, like Jinbei. People with the will of D smile at death. I think part of a very strong will is the lack of fear of dying. Jinbei's soul has a strong will and is strong enough that Big Mom cannot manipulate it. Big Mom has Conqueror's Haki. That's indicative of a strong will. Homies made by other people's souls completely obey her. They are even scared of her Viver card, which contains a very tiny part of her soul, not enough to remove much lifespan probably. Now, how is all this related to devil fruits? If we presume fruits have souls, and souls can be overwhelmed by souls of stronger will, that can explain why Haki users can nullify devil fruit powers. Haki is basically some manifestation of a strong will. Even without Haoshoku Haki, a strong armament Haki can punch through devil fruit powers like smoke and fire and injure the user. A devil fruit's soul may be easily overwhelmed by a stronger soul's will, just as homies would. A devil fruit soul is not the user's original soul and may be weaker and more easily overwhelmed by another soul, so armament Haki can neutralize its power. Haoshoku Haki is even more powerful, of course. It not only can overwhelm a devil fruit soul, it can overwhelm an individual's own soul if that soul has a weak will. And when this soul is overwhelmed, the body faints. Why do devil fruit users sink in the sea or become weak and lose their abilities when they touch sea stone? If devil fruits contain souls and souls follow follow a hierarchy based on strength of will, that might mean the sea also has a soul, with a will so strong that it can neutralize devil fruit souls. There are lots of theories about Imu being the sea devil or having powers connected to the sea. For example, Imu reversed is Umi, and Umi means sea in Japanese. After witnessing Saturn and his yokai inspiration, the possibility of Gorosei and Imu being other yokai is high as well, and Imu could be based on Umibozu, the sea monk. Most likely, Imu has the power to control the sea somehow, and Imu's soul is in the sea. It's also very possible that Imu has the strongest will in One Piece. She is the king of the world after all. There are also theories about the One Piece being in the sea. That's why there were no devil fruit users in Roger's pirates, and that's why Shanks' crew don't want devil fruits either. But Luffy's devil fruit is different. Luffy's Nika fruit has the will of Joy Boy, which is stronger than Imu's will. We have not seen Luffy drowning yet after he awakened his devil fruit. What if that's the reason why this fruit is the most wanted devil fruit by the world government, and that's why they could not catch it for 800 years? Because that's the only fruit that can beat Imu's will and reach the One Piece. This part of the video is just speculation. My main goal was to show you the connections between Imu, the Phantom Room, and devil fruits. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more about Imu's origins and powers, you can watch this video right here. Thanks for watching.